What up, B Squad? It's me, JB, and we're here today, you guys, with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 13, Episode 15, you guys. And this episode is titled Ashing It Out, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, shall we? All right, you guys, so this was a good episode. You know, no drama in this episode. It was a lighthearted episode, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, you guys. So I probably will say I won't be on here too long, but I do have some opinions about certain things, and I'll talk about those. Now, we open up the episode where we last left off. You guys remember Sutton was talking to Kyle and she broke down crying. And Sutton has bottled up, I realized, I'm like, Sutton has bottled up a lot of things. So I misheard what she said last week. Now, so when her father passed away, they did cremate him, but what she also said was they sprinkled some of his ashes in Texas, and I guess they kept some of them in a Ziploc bag. But what happened is, with her moving so much, I guess they misplaced whatever remains she had. I was like, now that is a little weird. Not weird, but it's like, actually it is weird. Like, how did you what happened to those? Like, did you put them in something and just forgot? And, that could be it, right? Put them in something, threw them out. Yikes, right? But I feel like with Sutton, everything that we're seeing in this scene is her dealing with things from her past. Merce's passing, her father's passing, the end of the dissolution of her marriage, right? So that's what this is all. It's symbolic for her. She's, putting a final pin on everything that has happened in her life. So yeah, I'm cool with it, right? So we see the ladies as they are heading out with each other, and they are, so the ladies are heading out, right, to go do this for Sutton, right? And I remember her friend that came to dinner last week's episode. He's telling them about a gay strip, right? So they're talking about gay lingo such as like a bear. Garcelle said that when she was on her podcast, she had Andy on there. She asked Andy, was he a top or a bottom? He said that he's a top. I've heard that plenty of times before. Somebody else had asked Andy that question. Then Garcelle says, she was talking to one of her friends. He said that he's a blouse. I was like, wow, these are a lot of terms. But hey, it is what it is, right? So on their way to, doing this whole thing of releasing Merce's ashes, they pass by some stuff where they want to pay, where they want to buy some stuff, right? And Garcelle and Kyle want to stop and buy some stuff, and Sutton is like, Now, in this particular moment, I get it. You guys are on a time crunch, right? I get it. I definitely do get it. And so Sutton is telling the ladies how she just wants them all to be able to, she's going to release Merce's ashes and, release all the things from her marriage, Merce, and her father, right? And she wants them to release some things as well and be able to move forward. So Sutton and her friend are up there talking, and when I tell y'all, I hollered when they finally went to go release Merce's ashes, because you could see that the wind was blowing. Because if you go back and look at it, Garcelle's dress was blowing in the wind. I was like, oh, this is not gonna go the way that y'all want it to go. And I was correct, because when she dumped out Merce's ashes, baby, Merce flew back and hit the women. He was all over Garcelle and Kyle, mostly Garcelle. I was like, damn, you got ashes. You got Merce's body. Oh God, I would have passed out right then and there. I would have passed out. Now let's pause here, and we're gonna move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So the ladies, they all took turns getting up and saying what they want to release, right? So Garcelle is wanting to release loneliness, right? She let us know that her father wasn't really a part of her life. And, when she says that, I wonder if that's why she's chosen, especially her ex-husband, Mike, right? I'm wondering if that's, part of the reason why was he something like similar to her father? Because, I mean, you guys know the story with Garcelle and her ex-husband. Mike cheated on her, right? And he's out of her life, but they still have their sons. Yikes. Then Crystal went, and Crystal, you guys know I like Crystal, right? When it comes to Crystal, uh, her, I get it being, with her brother, because she broke down, she was crying. And I get it. You love your brother and, you have a strong bond with your brother. But at the end of the day, he is his own person. He's his own man. So he has to live his life. He can't be at the beck and call of Crystal and their mother. So he has to. And the crazy thing is, like I've said before, the crazy thing is he's the oldest. She's the youngest. You wouldn't think that. You would literally think that he's her little brother, but he's her big brother. And maybe that's what it is. You look up to your older siblings, and again, the connection between them. I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna say it's creepy or anything like that. It's a sister who loves her brother, and they're probably super close. We know that they are. They're super close knit. So it probably is hard. It's probably an emotional attachment that she feels like with him being on the other side of the world permanently, that he probably won't come home as much. So I think that's probably what it is. And like the Bible says, even for with the mother and the son, leave and cleave, right? You gotta let him live his life. That's all I gotta say. Then, solid 8.5. She got up. I didn't really understand what she was talking about. Didn't really care what she was talking about. She didn't annoy me in this episode, but I just didn't care. Then also Erica got up, and Erica wants to talk about how the ladies have made her feel for the last 3 years. I was like, Erica, 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 you gotta let it go, sis. You gotta let it go, because you were the worst person to deal with for these last 3 years. You have not once mentioned these victims. Like, again, I get it. You didn't do anything to them, but your husband victimized these people. Your husband stole money from them. Your husband put money into your singing career at the expense of those people's loved ones that are deceased and never coming back. But they went to him to do a service for them. He did a service for them. He got the money. He kept the money and funneled it into you. So, yeah. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Dorit, ma'am, you and this PTSD, I ain't got much for you. I ain't got much for it with Dorit and this PTSD. And like Garcelle said about Erica, she heard what Erica said. I'm going back to Erica real quick. Like Garcelle said, what the ladies were doing over the last few seasons, it wasn't a thing of a get you guy. It wasn't like, oh, let's stick it to Erica because Erica's done this, so let's stick it to Erica. It was more so a thing of with the ladies. It was like holding them, especially last season when you said you don't give a fuck about anybody else but yourself. What people wanted you to do was to, show some kind of empathy, show some kind of compassion for the victims, right? No one ever asked you to say that. No one ever asked you to go against Tom. No one ever said that you were guilty of anything, right? No one said that. People wanted you to have a redemption. I think what the ladies were trying to do was give you a redemption from the atrocious season that you had previously. Or actually, no. What season was it? It was season 11, right? Well, no, season 11. I think the ladies were trying to, or was it season? Yeah, it was season 11. Season 11, I think the ladies were trying to give you a redemption because if you guys remember how terrible Erica was season 11, she was shitty to Sutton. And you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Sutton, so I wasn't upset or anything about that. But you came at Sutton because Sutton was the only one that season asking you questions. Little Miss Motherfucking Small Town, or what, or what? Like you was spewing all that venom and vitriol at Sutton season 11, right? Then also in season 11, you were making up all those outlandish ass lies, like how the car flipped 15 times with Tom and the prostitute in it, right? Or that it snowed in California, in Pasadena, wherever the hell it was, right? That season, you came up with all those lies. And I think last season, the ladies were just trying to say, hey, Erica, last season wasn't the best look for you, sis. Like, let's help her out. Like, let's do something for our friend. Like, because it's not looking good out there for you. Social media is attacking you. You are continuously getting lawsuits piled onto you. So I think that's why the ladies, especially when it came to those earrings last season, I think that's why Garcelle and even Crystal mentioned the earrings last season, because it was like, you're not looking good. Like if you can do anything, just even a small thing that could make them whole, then go for it. But hey, you didn't. Now we'll pause here and we'll move forward, you guys. So next up, you guys, we have Erica. She's talking to a glam squad, right? And she is still upset about the ladies not necessarily apologizing to her. And I was like, Erica, man, you just don't have to let that go. What do they need to? Here's the thing that I'm going to ask the question of: what do they need to apologize to you for? I know you feel vindicated about those earrings, but no one was ever saying that you needed to give those victims the money. None of them were saying that that money was used, from the victims, settlements. What the women were saying was, like, again, if you can at least do something to, it might not make a huge dent in what they lost, but every little bit counts. And I think that's where the ladies were coming from. No one was accusing you of anything, but okay, she feels how she wants to feel, right? So the ladies, they're going to be going out for dinner, and the memo was they were all supposed to wear a red dress, right? Everybody got that memo with the exception of Kyle. Kyle has on this loud ass orange dress. I was like, my God, Kyle, my God, girl, this is just, it wasn't tacky, but I was like, well, it is a little tacky because you're the only one that isn't wearing the color that was asked of you guys. But okay, Kyle. But then when we saw the red dress that she had in her closet to wear, I was like, oh, I'm kind of glad she didn't wear it. I was with Kyle and Dorit. Everything was see-through. I was like, wow. So you would be going to dinner with your whole titties out. But okay. Now they sit down for dinner. Dorit, why do you have to be so extra all the time? I never understand it about Dorit. Dorit was being extra. If you guys go back and listen, the waiter, he spoke English. He asked them in English what they wanted. Dorit in Spanish told him she wanted a regular Coke. I was with Kyle in her interview. Girl, you could have said, I want a regular Coke. You really could have said that in English. So, I will actually call her by her name. What's her name again? Anna Marie. She asked him what was the best part of the trip, and Crystal said watching them make the food the night before. I forgot what everybody. She also then asked Erica what Erica meant by the whole situation of I don't give a damn. So she asked Erica what she meant when they were at the dumping, when they were spreading Mercy's ashes, right? And she told how she felt with this group, and so Garcelle said, "Do you trust us?" And she said, trust is something that. Here's the thing. The thing is, and I always found this very fascinating and very interesting, right? So you guys know, there are a few. So you guys know I'm a Cancer, right? That's my sign, and for a Cancer, we don't open up too easily to people, right? And once you break our, once the trust is broken, it's kind of hard to. It ain't kind of hard. It's impossible to get the trust back, right? We are very guarded, right? So the funny thing is, Dorit is a Cancer, Rena's a Cancer, and so is Erica. And the even crazier thing is, all of their birthdays are in July, just like mine is, right? There's another Cancer out there in the Housewives universe that I cannot stand, and we actually share the same exact birthday. Charisse from the Real Housewives of Potomac, she and I have the same exact birthday. Her birthday is July 16th, and you guys know mine is the 16th as well. I was like, isn't that interesting? The one Potomac housewife that I, besides the rest of them, but Potomac, but from wow, I think that's interesting. So I got where Erica was coming from. Like, she's done all this. Y'all, everything has happened. But again, like I said, the ladies were not necessarily coming for you. I think the ladies were just trying to, season 11, the ladies just wanted to know what was going on, what you could speak. And I get it, season 11 and 12, she couldn't speak on things because it's an ongoing legal matter, right? But Erica knew that going into that last season and the season before, that it was going to be things that they were going to bring up. Andy brought it up at the reunions, right? So she knew that, but I felt like she did herself a disservice, my personal opinions, right? So they talked about her residency. Sutton did not get an invitation to the residency. And I thought that was kind of interesting, right? Because if you guys go back to season 10 of Beverly Hills, when Erica was on Broadway, Sutton chartered that private jet so that they could go up there to see her. Just saying. Then, she gave her kudos for the residency, which we do know Sutton didn't go to the residency. I don't know why. I don't care why, to be quite honest with you, but I know she didn't go to it because I remember she was doing an interview before the season started, and she said that she didn't go. And then we see the ladies as they got on the stage and, dance with the people that was performing. And that was the end of the trip, you guys. So we'll pause here and end the episode. Now, you guys, the episode ended with Kyle. It really ain't much to talk about with Kyle. It's the same song and dance that we've been having for since the season started, right? But this time she's being a little bit more open with Dorit, right? Oh, I forgot to mention that when they were leaving things in the water, that Kyle, she's letting go of any guilt that she had with her friend, her friend's passing, right? Forgot to mention that. But Kyle is talking to Dorit about the fact that, she and Mauricio, she's gone to therapy. He's come, but they're not communicating well with each other. She talks about the fact of him traveling. But here's the thing that I will say, Kyle, it goes towards what she just said. They're not communicating. So that means that you guys need to sit down and was Allison right? I'm starting to think Allison Dubois was right, because the kids are pretty much gone with the exception of Portia. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch season 2 of Beverly Hills when they had the dinner party from hell, part 1, where Allison Dubois with her e-cigarette, when she told Kyle that Mauricio wouldn't fulfill her, and especially once the kids are gone. Go back and watch that. She talked about the fact that she feels like when it comes to Mo, he puts, whenever there's an issue with the business, he puts a lot of focus and emphasis on that. But when it comes down to their marriage, he doesn't do that. And I was like, well, Kyle, that's a conversation that you need to sit down and have with your husband. Be like, hey, Mo, I'm having some, you and I, we're not on the same page. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. And I felt like Kyle was trying to place a good bulk of the blame onto Mauricio. But I was like, it's two people in the marriage. It's you and him. If you want your marriage to survive, if you want to fight for your marriage, then you put forth the effort as well. But hey, if you don't want it, then you don't want it. Speaking of Kyle, you guys, so if y'all don't know, her and Morgan, right? I don't know what the relationship was between her and Morgan, but whatever it was, I don't think it's there anymore, right? Because I think it was like the week of the reunion. I think Morgan deleted any photos that she had of Kyle on her Instagram, and then Kyle went and deleted any photos that she had of Morgan on hers. So if it was if it was like a friendship, then the friendship, from what we can see on. Now here's the thing I will say: I don't take social media too seriously, and I hate when people do like, oh, you unfollowed this person, oh, you unfollowed that person. It doesn't mean anything. Like I've unfollowed people, people, and we still communicate with each other. We're still friends. It doesn't change anything. It just means that we didn't want to follow each other anymore. So I'm not gonna be. I don't take that to heart. But hey, that's the episode, you guys. Feel free to let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below. You guys subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So the next 3 videos coming up is going to be for Sisters, Miami, and then the Traders, which is tonight. I'm gonna try to get those up tonight. That's my goal, is to have all of those up for you guys tonight. But I will see you guys later. Did I say it? If I didn't say it, stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.